Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Growing Orchids in Jamaica. And in case you are new to my channel, please subscribe so you see just how I grow orchids in Jamaica. Today I stand here and we are actually preparing for Hurricane Elsa. And of course, you know, as an orchid grower in the Caribbean, this is one of the things that we fear most. And so, guys, if you want to see just how I prepare for Hurricane Elsa, just stay tuned. So it's actually an overcast morning, looking a little gloomy, and the sun is barely peeping out. But because we know what to expect, of course, we are putting things in place. And so, guys, one of the things that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be removing the lighter plants, but the ones that I have in the beds here, I am definitely not going to trouble them because I basically would not have anywhere to put them. And so they will just have to stay in their place. What I will do, I will spray them with some protectant spray, fungicide and so forth, so that at least it reduces the impact of the water on them. For the plants that I have on top of anything at all, I am literally going to take them down and I am going to put them low. Right, so all of these plants I'm going to put them low, so in the event, you know, the wind and so forth, they will not damage them too much. So guys, here I am actually taking down the plants and placing them on the ground. Trust me, when they're on the ground, they will actually be protected both by the table and by the bench below. And I've actually started this procedure from yesterday, where I took down most of the plants that are already in bloom. So what is actually left are those that are not blooming, and so I decided to take those down today. So I'm literally placing them under the table, and that protects them actually from the wind and from excessive rainfall, excessive water. And actually this one I have to actually place it on the wall here because it's actually growing down and you don't want it to be damaged. I'm removing those from the table as well, right, because the wind will actually blow them away. And this one I'm gonna actually take it on the inside, so I'm gonna place this one on my veranda because the inflorescence are long and I don't want it to be damaged any at all. So as much as I can prevent damage to the plants, that's my intention basically. So I continue to take these down from the almond tree. But guys, guess what? You think this is hard? Wait until it is time for me to put them back up. Oh dear, that is going to be where the challenge lies. But I just have to do what I have to do to protect them from both wind and rain. This one is a native, is one of the Stellas, I have it hanging here for quite some time. It's the first time I'm actually removing it, but I don't want it to be damaged. Outside of the fact that it was damaged some time ago, the mounting material, and I remounted it recently. So now I'm placing it here on the ground in the vanda bed. Just to note that the vanda bed is actually lined with ground covering, so the plants are not directly on the soil. In the back there, the staghorn fern, it's quite huge, and I don't want it to be damaged any at all either, and therefore I am removing it, but of course I have to climb up to get it down. So there goes. I am skillfully trying to get it down. It's a bit heavy, but the wire that I use to hold it up is quite strong, and there I have gotten it down. And so that now that it's down, I'm gonna place it low on the ground as well. The important thing though, when we place these plants down on the ground, we try to place them in areas where there is not necessarily soil, because if it is soil there, then the rain will actually beat up the soil on the plants, and the soil has pathogens in it. Those are bad bacteria, and you really do not want the plants to be in contact with those, because they will cause rot. And also what is important is that we put back the plants as quickly as we're able to after the storm has passed, because if you don't do that, you might lose some of them to rot. And this is the area that I have most of my hanging plants. So I literally take the greenhouse mesh off, the shade cloth, which was 50%, and I fold it to the back and secure it tightly with small pieces of galvanized wire. And from my bench here, I've removed most of the more delicate plants, and of course they are placed flat on the ground. Some are still on the bench, but those that are on the bench, they are clustered closely together. All the plants that I had hanging under the almond tree, you would have seen where I have removed them. And so what I do, I actually put them low, so I place them underneath the bench to secure them from the heavy wind. And of course this wall here that I have here will provide some shelter also for them, as well as the table and the bench. Right. The plants I have in this bed, there is not much that I can do. They're already toppling over, and there are times when what I will do, I will just lean them over to reduce the impact. But luckily for this bed as well, the wall will provide some amount of shelter, and the tree as well. So all my plants that I have hanging, of course, as I said to you, I have removed them, and I have removed the shade cloth. So let me just show you how I have them on the ground. Some are still on the bench, but because the bench is low, and it is actually below the almond tree. Let me show you right here. Right, so where the bench is here, it's protected by the other plants above it, as well as the almond tree and the fencing. And so the wind will basically go over them and will not damage these too much. Okay guys, so this is another area that I have placed some of my plants on the flooring in this plastic shade house that I have. So the top of this house has plastic and it has mesh. However, right, so it has plastic and it has mesh, and so it will reduce the impact of the water on them in this area. So this is where I have placed them, and this is actually my dendrobium house, which I have not introduced you to before. And see, under the bench I also placed a few of the plants to secure them, and I believe they are well secured under here until after the storm would have passed. Some of these I will place on this little wall here because I do not envisage any great amount of wind in this area. The taller ones I place low, and this will also give us a chance to clean up and redo most of our areas wherein we have our plants. The plants I have on the bench, I am not going to disturb them. I will just have to hope for the best. We have had hurricanes before, and what usually happens, a lot of water just passes through. They're blowing from different angles through the house, and not many of them would really be toppled over. But let us see this area with my Tulumnia orchids, my native tree, and there's not much that I can do about this one at this time, but just pray and hope for the best. Usually they'll get a little battering, but they will survive. The ones that I can remove from this area, I definitely will remove them and place them low. And this one here is another native orchid, one of the smallest orchids. I am going to put this in a little corner so that the wind will not take it away. So I'm gonna place it down here, and so it will be sheltered both by the drum and the concrete stand. I have a few of my hanging ones because I am leaving them here because I still want them to get some water. So what I did with them, I actually just hung them on the fence, and I am just hoping for the best with them. Okay, and of course I'm getting some assistance here to take some off the little stand that I have here and just put them down flat. All right, so we have taken off most of them. We're going to take them all off and put them flat. Yes, those are to be taken out and put flat. Yes, they're heavy. Okay, so you can push them up to the wall. So I'm getting some assistance here to remove the heavier ones to the wall. Right, that's it for right here. Oh, guess what? We gotta take these down right here. Just these. So we basically just take them down and put them flat right in the same general area. Of course the wind will blow some of them around, but when they're flat, at least, you know, the damage will be a lot less. So just put them flat. Thank you so much for your assistance. So guys, now you have experienced us preparing for the storm. Just give me a thumbs up, and so you never miss the next video that I will do while the storm is going on to show you the impact, and after the storm, subscribe to my channel and as we say in Jamaica, just holla back at me. This is the Orchid Duck, and I am growing orchids in Manchester, Jamaica.